Happy Wednesday. Welcome to GCC's Georgia Chiro Connection. I'm your host, Dr. Kathy. And this week I have a great friend and a fabulous chiropractor joining us, Dr. Nalyn Marcus. Hey, Doc.
Hey, it's so great to be here. Wow. The technology, right? Here we are.
Love it. We're like right here, even though we're 1,000 miles away?
Something like that. I'm up here in PA, Pennsylvania.
I love it. I love it. And we're down here in Atlanta where right now we're having beautiful weather today. We had the windows open and it got too hot, had to put the air on, shut the windows. But that's Georgia for you, right?
Yeah, we got blue skies, but we definitely have an awful lot of leaves coming down. The color's
Oh,
beautiful.
I love it. I love it. Now, for everyone that does not know you yet, I'm kind of looking right behind you, right out that back. You have the most beautiful, tranquil, peaceful office. One of the things I love is that you have this gorgeous outdoor area for people. Yes?
Yes, we're on a half an acre right here in the center of Bethlehem. This was my third move, which was a surprise because I had to move every 7 years. Buildings were coming down, and I thought having a lease was a secure thing, but there's fine print. So third time was the charm, and I bought this building 16 years ago. It's a 1948 Cape Cod, and people just love coming in here, and we call it your healing place to come home to. People get to go outside and hang out. We've had celebrations out there. The kids feed the koi fish. Sometimes the deer show up while we're adjusting. So it's been pretty special. I love sharing it.
I love it. I've seen so first of all, for those of you that don't know, Dr. Nalyn is a phenomenal photographer. Takes the most beautiful nature pictures, and she takes great pictures of people too, but the most beautiful nature pictures. But some of the ones that have really touched me are the ones of your office because it is such a healing space and you so graciously share it with your community.
It's great for me to be here, and even a stormy day is a great healing day here. We just have a really nice energy and a vibe that's been created here, and the people that are part of our practice community make that happen. So I love being here every day. So yeah.
I love that. Now, you said something that I'm sure a lot of doctors are very nervous about ever happening to them, and that's having to move your office. And you've done it a couple times. So, talk to us a little bit about what that felt like and how you got through that at those moments in your life.
So it was kind of biblical because it happened every 7 years. I was like, okay, what's up with this? But rented a space out, and it was really a lot of money because it was my first office that I was renting. I didn't know what triple net meant, but they worked with me. We made it work. And lo and behold, when my son was maybe in kindergarten, it was like, knock, knock, you have 90 days eviction notice. And it was everybody in the building. So there was a photographer, there was a therapist, a couple of dentists, a lawyer, and we all had to move. And it was a learning curve. And fortunately, there was a great space right up the street. And there's a lot of psychic ownership that happens sometimes if you're fortunate enough in family practice. So patients moved me. They packed me up. They put up the wallpaper. We bought hoagies. I brought the portable adjusting table. I got T-shirts that said, "My chiropractor has all the right moves," and I helped. I mean, we made it. We turned it into lemonade. So then we moved up the street, and it was a great space, a very sweet space. Another fellow chiropractor was a construction person also, so he outfitted us, I guess is the word. And then I was there for 7 years and loved it. And then it was knock, knock, knock. The hospital's taking the building. And I thought, okay, I have a lease, but somehow that's not a security thing. Let me find something to buy. And so, with the help of some real estate agents in the practice, everybody was looking. Took a little while, and it worked out. And then I came home one day from church, opened up my email, and as emails are time stamped, 7 minutes apart, there was that number seven again. I grew up in a family of seven, so there's always a seven. 7 minutes apart, this property was available from two different real estate agents, and so we went with the earlier one. They were both patients of mine. And we haven't looked back. We had to completely redo it, make it commercial, and make it work. And it's got hardwood floors and wheelchair accessibility. We built a parking lot, and I love it. It feels a little bit of boutique. It's smaller, but this really, really works for us. And we see a good number of people, and it's grown. So everybody's happy here. Changing tables, very busy. We have an X-ray unit we had to move. And it's just been great. It's been 16 years now here. So 33 years in practice now. This is my my principal year, I like to call it, because it's my 33rd year in practice with the 33 principles. So
I love that.
good learning curve. I'm glad I bought. Let's put it that way.
I'm a huge proponent for people buying their building or building their own building. This way you really put your roots down in the community, and then that becomes your retirement. That's your nest egg.
Yep.
And having grown up in construction and with my parents owning multiple rental properties, I understand what happens when a property sells. The new owner does not have to maintain you, or they could double your mortgage, your lease payment. So owning gives such a sense of security. And I love that you've been able to turn a space into exactly what works for your personality, your patients. And it just really helps your practice members feel like it's a space for them to come to. So for some of the doctors that are watching right now who maybe are sitting on that fence thinking, is it time? Could I do it? Should I buy my own space? Should I continue to lease? What would you, I'm guessing, but what would be your suggestion to them?
I'm feeling much more secure now that this is mine, lock, stock, and barrel. So, and it's built equity, of course. So it's very good for my retirement in the future. So I would say, yeah, if you have the opportunity and you can get the help, and maybe you have to get a little creative, but it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. And the community knows I'm here to stay.
That's the big part for me. Absolutely. Because we used to rent a space down the street about 2, 3 miles away.
Mhm.
And then we had the opportunity to buy this piece of land, and my dad built the majority of the building for us. We had a company do the shell, but my dad built the building. And it really said to the community, we are here to stay.
Mhm.
Even though I'd been in business down the street, when we did this, all of a sudden the mayor showed up and the ribbon cutting happened, and the community got around it because they said, oh wow, somebody's building a building in this empty strip of land, which now I am surrounded by so many buildings and beautiful commercial buildings that we had, thankfully, that foresight years ago. And I think that you did as well. And I love that you shared that story.
Yeah, we allow people, when the weather's beautiful, we open everything up. They can hear the waterfall. I've made a really good just connection for people that when they come for chiropractic care, it's about flow, right? It's about flow from above down. So when they hear that water when they're lying on the table, and then they know the kids can feed the squirrels when they go out, or they can throw some fish food out and then just take a walk and then go out to the parking lot from the side, that there's just this little extra. And they're getting their adjustments, but then they're also getting, I don't know, some nature in it too. So people look forward to this. For a lot of people, it's the best part of their day.
I love it. So that is obviously a space for healing. I'm sure you've had some amazing stories and amazing experiences with people over the course of the last 16 years. Are there any stories that you want to share with us to kind of inspire those that are watching right now?
I had a heads up about that there might be a patient testimonial, and I'm fortunate that I've had several, but the one that stands out, there's two. There was an expectant mom that was expecting twins. So I was able to contact Dr. Jeannie Ohm, and she helped me with that. And guess what? Their OB was a patient of mine. So she was completely open to having a natural delivery if that was possible. And so her boys were both head down finally, and she was able to deliver. That's a while ago now, because the second twin just got married a couple of weeks ago. So, whoa, right? And then another really big one was when I was in clinic. I was intern on call, and a young man came in wearing the paper slippers you would get from the hospital and a band, which would tell you were just coming out of the hospital. His mom came in with a list of drugs he was on. He hadn't been able to go to the bathroom, and he had lost 30 pounds. He was only in third grade. And his history showed he was thrown and ejected from a car a few years prior, but watch, he was fine, right? He was fine, but his atlas vertebra was completely jammed into the back of his occiput. And I was able to do a toggle adjustment under supervision at the clinic. And his mom called me the next day and said he sat in the bathroom and pooped for like 3 hours. And he gained all his weight back and graduated with his class. I was able to follow after I graduated and always keep track of how that young man was doing. So to have that chiropractic miracle story very early on in my career, it really just it fueled me to keep watching and keep explaining and sharing those stories. But this afternoon we just had somebody so loud out here, he just kept going, wow, wow. And my front desk was going, wow, if we had a whole bunch of people in here that were brand new, they would have loved to have heard all of that. So it's everybody has a story, and there's an opportunity to educate with even the smallest thing to let them know that their body's healing all the time when it's well adjusted.
I love it. You are such a peaceful energy in chiropractic, and there's so much that you do that a lot of people may not know. I mean, you're so involved with the League of Chiropractic Women. You're the person who pours your heart and soul into helping us to stay connected with so many women around the world. And really, you're just the gift.
I've been very blessed. I tell people all the time when I do mentorship that I thought I was going to die and not know what I was supposed to be when I grew up. It took a long time for that light bulb to go on. I was 7 years out of college. So I thought, why should I hide my light? So I'm involved with the Women in Chiropractic jam sessions that we do every year at Sherman College's Lyceum. That's moved into the League of Chiropractic Women and sharing with them in roundtable discussions. I do a subluxation free press newsletter every month that we mail out. And I enjoy writing. So I enjoy communicating. So I tell people, number people I keep in my tribe. They're good at numbers. I like to explain, to teach, to write, to sing, to communicate with words, and my hands and my heart.
I love it. You're such an inspiration. Thank you.
I love you too.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us today and sharing your beautiful space with us.
Well, I hope it helped somebody, and I'm here in any way you want to reach out. I always like sharing. So I'm so thrilled to be here, and thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. And I want to thank everybody for joining us today and remind you that we have one last event coming up for GCC this year. This is our annual convention. It is the weekend of December 8th, 9th, and 10th. This is our annual meeting. We have a luncheon that's sponsored by Legally Mind, which I personally will be reaching out to them because they're the ones that are going to help you figure out, how do I protect all of my assets and how do I make sure that I'm set up properly in the event of probate or wills or divorces or deaths or changing of the practice. So that's a great luncheon. I learn so much every time there. But also Saturday night of our convention is our casino night. So check out all the information on our website at georgiachiropractic.org. And thank you, Dr. Nalyn.
Oh, thanks, Dr. Kathy. I'll see you soon.
I will see you very soon. And I'll see everybody else next week right here for GCC's Georgia Chiro Connection. Bye.
Bye.